Good evening. This is MC Motorsports Broadcasting here live from Homestead, Miami Speedway for the Worldwide Racing Truck Series. I'm Jonathan Casebeer here with Michael Matta. We're practice here, about 3 minutes left on the clock, roughly 16 cars registered. Matta, what are you thinking we're going to see out of Homestead, Miami today?
I'm not too sure what we're going to see, but I'm seeing right now the track temps up to 124 here in Florida. It's going to be a hot and slick race out here.
Absolutely. Fastest lap time is currently 34.05, and the entire top four are separated by less than a tenth.
That's what I'm seeing a lot in practice. A lot of people running that bottom lane, and then a lot of people run the top. No one's really running the middle. It's going to be either the top or the bottom here.
It'd be interesting to see if any lines fade away or come in better than others. See if the racing changes, if the middle starts to come in and the top falls off as the race progresses, as the rubber gets laid down.
The track being this hot, it's going to help with the two lanes. The bottom is going to help you save tires, but that top is going to feel real good. Just keeping the rears on the track in general. Usually gets looser on the bottom, but you'll save more tires down there, so it's really going to be a game of strategy with where you actually put the truck on the track.
And I am very excited to watch this race after the action that we've seen from the last couple of weeks. Some fantastic finishes, hard racing. They were a little caution filled, but these guys are just out there driving their hearts out, trying to get locked into the playoffs. 12 drivers make the playoffs, and that is it. So every win locking them in does count. And people that haven't won yet further down the points board and harder to point their way in as to winning and securing it early.
Yeah, and that's something we're going to have to focus on here. This is a track that's definitely not like anything we've done so far in the league. So far, we've run Daytona, Atlanta, and Las Vegas. They're all almost like all draft tracks. If you add in Las Vegas there, it's very drafty. This place, they're going to get real spread out, and the fast guys are going to get to the front fast.
77 of Tanner Koster is currently atop the board. Nobody has taken this fast time down yet as we're in the final minute of practice. Heading into qualifying, we have 16 cars to put a lap down. We're up to 18 cars registered. Go ahead and throw up the points graphic after Vegas last week. The points might be a little off at the moment, but that does not change the fact that Tanner Koster, Javi Zapata, and Nicholas Lamb have all locked their way into the playoffs with wins in the first 3 weeks. And other really hard drivers that have just not gotten the results. William Moore is 12th in points right now. He's had 2 really great pushes the last 2 weeks, but hasn't had the best of finishes, so he's holding that last playoff spot. But there's still plenty of racing to go throughout the season to work higher up and even get a win.
And as practice comes to a close, we're going to see these guys qualify. I don't really know where they're going to be running, if they're going to be running the top or the bottom in qualifying. Every time I've done it here, I think the top and the bottom are about even on the cold tires, so you might see a mixed bag of the first guy running the top and the second guy in qualifying running the bottom. It's just how this place works.
First driver we'll see to leave the pits is that 77 of Tanner Koster, running a beautiful DuPont paint scheme. That truck does look really good. '17 of Keith Ayer is also out on track. Good wrench services scheme looking good as well. Will Moore in the 8, breaking out a Bud scheme this week.
Did notice that one in practice, you can't miss it. He taps the wall there. We're going to see that a lot.
Gets loose. I would assume this will be a reset and he'll start his laps again. He didn't even get to take the first lap start. the 87. Very nice, vibrant, bright blue. Jade feathers in the 75. Good looking truck there as well. Javier Zapata in the 24.
Get an eye over to Tanner. He's coming to his green flag lap here. His second lap. Probably going to be the fast one. See what line he runs. Kind of run in the middle here.
Down the back stretch, trying to get all the speed he can down into the next corner.
He runs at the bottom.
Trying to arc it all the way down to the bottom and then drift up off the corner for all the speed. Come to the line. .26 current pole. Keith Ayers finished his second lap, 34.35. Bump down to third. Zapata puts down a lap exactly the same, just probably a tick slower, but it was a 34.27, just like Tanner Coster. Wilmore just completed his first lap, the speed gain lap. Quick time, Anthony Camarada, 34.07. Snags that pole. Cliff Adams takes a P2 with a 34.19. Wilmore puts down a 34.46, currently good enough for 9th. Take a look at Kyle Lawver. Seems as though he's on his second lap as well.
Looks like he's not going to gain anything there. Going to stay right there, 13th place.
Tyler Johnson currently sitting P12. Would appear he's on a second lap at this moment.
Get Ryan O'Toole out on a second lap. Coming to the line out of 3 and 4.
Tyler Johnson jumps up to P5 with a 34.28.
He's not... Yeah, I was going to say, he looked a little off pace there. I think he was getting loose through the center of the corner. Jeffrey Smith, I think the last guy to qualify here, running his first lap. Up against the wall, tapping it. Seeing what that truck has. Probably going to get as close as he can here to get a big run down the straightaway to start that fast lap. Ooh, he gets loose off the corner. That's going to hurt his lap a little bit. Still good speed coming to the line, though.
Charles Irwin pulling out on the track. Gonna try to get some qualifying laps in there as well. Smith down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Running the high side there. Different approach than most of the other drivers have taken. We'll see how it plays out.
He's got good speed coming down the front stretch. Putting P9.
Charles Irwin just completed his first timed lap and is on the second one.
He's also trying that high line.
No lap time currently. Must have been an invalidated lap 1.
So something I'm noticing already is from the start of qualifying to now, the track temp's up 4 degrees already, up to 128.
Charles Irwin jumps to P6 with a 34.29.
Still got this one more lap to try to improve. He's right up against the wall. If he can have a good 3 and 4, we'll really see the speed of that top line.
Comes to the line. Did not gain any positions. Charles Irwin will be P6. Got 2 trucks. Looks like they're still just turning some extra practice laps.
Yeah, O'Toole's on lap 3, so he's just practicing here. And
Toole and Matt McDonald.
so it's McDonald, yep. Both just running some practice here. Which isn't a bad idea. They got 10 minutes to qualify. They only started with 10 minutes of practice, so no reason not to use this as a little extra practice.
While Anthony Comrade are going to be the pole sitter in that 71, Cliff Adams going to start on the outside of that first row.
I'm going to go back and look at the difference between pole and second place. See if they ran any different lines there.
About 2 minutes left on the qualifying timer. There is still one driver not completed with the laps. Brandon Ressler. We'll see if the 79 truck starts the race. What do you say we grab our pole sitter, get a word from old Camarada?
Sounds good.
Hey, Anthony, it's Jonathan and Matt up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, what a quick time there. 0.12 above second place. Looks like you were really giving it all you had there, and you were able to set the thing on pole. What can you tell us about the track conditions for qualifying?
The track felt actually better than practice. Still very tight, which I've noticed in every car I've driven here. This track's very tight. Um, but yeah, I'm just hoping that I can take this qualifying performance and put it into the race.
Absolutely. And what do you think it's going to take to keep that thing in the same finishing position as you're going to start?
Uh, I'd say luck, which I don't really have any. So we'll see.
Well, you have had a fast truck. It's looked like over the last couple of weeks. Maybe not with the greatest finishes, but I think pointers are looking good for you as of right now. I don't remember what they were or how accurate they were. The admins said that points were a little skewed, and we'll have to get that taken care of post race tonight. But Matt, I got any questions for Anthony here?
How much tire saving you think you'll need here? I mean, it's definitely a slick track. You need some tire saving here, or kind of all out?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm kind of just diving into this head first. I didn't really practice or anything. I'm kind of just winging it
Hey,
this week.
sometimes that's the way to go. You got nothing before, and you just go for it. You do what the truck feels, and sometimes just is how it works. I mean, you got pole, so good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, that was our pole sitter, Anthony Camarada, the driver of the 71 truck. Setting down, that was a quick time, being a little over a tenth faster than second place. He was really wheeling that thing.
Yep, and something I did go back and look at. Like I said earlier, first place used the high line, second place used the bottom line. So it does look like both lanes are pretty even, at least on cold tires. We'll see how the lanes migrate as they start wearing. But yeah, definitely both lanes are viable in the beginning.
We'll pull up our qualifying results. You got Anthony Camarado with a 34.065, sitting it on pole. Cliff Adams starting P2 in the 98 Bandits Motorsports machine. Tanner Coster in the 77 is in third place. Javier Zapata, P4. Tyler Johnson in the 6, starting P5. Charles Irwin is going to start P6. Matt McDonald and Keith Ayers, 7 and 8. Mark Cofield, Jeffrey Smith, 9 and 10. Starting outside the top 10, first two are Ryan Jones and Will Moore. And then you have Kevin Stanley Jr. and Seth Morrison. Followed by Kyle Lawver and Reginald Harris, Jade Feathers, Sleeping Beauty, C.D. Mangrum, Ryan O'Toole, and Brandon Ressler. Those bottom three with no time. We'll see if they are indeed starting the race.
It does look like they're all on track, so they just didn't want to post the time. So looks like we got everyone in here. 21 trucks tonight. Someone from last week who was real fast got pole last week. Mark Hofield starting 9th. We'll see how much speed he has at the ovals. Yeah, non-plate tracks.
It does appear that the lights are off on the pace car, so they will not be adding any additional pace laps, and will be going green this time. Pace car's off in the Geico start zone.
Ooh,
And we are
they spin their
green.
tires. Everybody's spinning their tires.
Lots of squiggly action there. Outside not with the hottest restart. We head through 1 and 2. By 2 for quite a few lanes back.
Looks like Camarada is going to try and use this top lane the first few laps. Just to try and get away, but Tanner's making that bottom work. He's making a run to the bottom. He's going to get some help.
It doesn't look like anybody's really forcing their way to any specific line. Run
No.
the top and the bottom.
Ooh!
Oh,
A
and the car's
spin.
turned.
Ooh, he saves it.
And he keeps it off the inside wall. That's the
Caution's out, though.
98 of Cliff Adams. What a save right there.
Man, I don't know if someone got into the back of him, but that was one crazy save.
We go back and take a look at what happened back there between the 98 and looks like the 71. Looks like just a little bit of right hooking unsettled that 98, and he was able to keep it off that very inside wall.
Man, let's check his onboard there. I want to see how much he was wheeling that thing.
Go on board with the 98.
Oh, yeah.
What a save. Absolutely wheeling it. As we rewind, we can go on board with Camarada. Looks like just coming off turn 2, he's got the run, and the 98 just slowly drifts up and hooks himself a little bit.
I think we only got...
Keep it going.
We had a couple guys going down pit road from 14th on back.
Oh, and the 15 spun into the inside. Right there at the beginning of pit road.
Ooh.
Ooh, just lost
Isn't too
it.
bad.
Definitely
could have been worse for him.
Doesn't look like he slammed it too much, but looks like came in a little hot, maybe locked it up. and just
Yeah,
taps that
especially with
tire
this
barrier.
this hot track, you hit the brakes just a little too hard, it's gonna spin on you. A lot of cars taking long stops here.
Tanner Coster, your leader, followed by pole setter Anthony Camarada and Javier Zapata in P3.
It's like we had Smith, Morrison, Ayers, and Adams and O'Toole pit.
Doubling up, they're going to go green the next time by.
Something I saw there, it looked like the bottom was just a little bit better. I think the top, I don't know if it's gonna come in. It might take the bottom getting a little rubber in it. The track's cooling down a little bit, so that's gonna help that bottom.
Five laps completed out of the 67 scheduled. The current biggest mover of the race, C.D. Mangrum, up 6 from the P19 starting position, sitting in P13 currently. Unfortunate so far for the 98 of Cliff Adams and Keith Ayers. They're both down 18 and 11 spots, down in P19 and 20.
And we get into the restart zone. Everyone does a lot better with their tires, not spinning them up front. Ooh, the outside either misses his shift or really spins the tires.
77 got an excellent jump on the restart there. I assume having a little bit of heat in the tires helps with the not spinning them on the start.
Yeah, especially without just a few laps, it just gets heat in them and not really any wear. But I think if we go another few laps, another restart, it's going to get sketchy.
Front couple cars a little more spread out this time as a result of that slight stack up and good launch. Single file quite a ways back, just a couple cars on the inside line.
Right now our only battle is really going to be in that's not P4. There's that P4. Got Camarada who fell back to 6th on that restart, a bad restart. He's getting passed right now by Kevin Stanley. They're going to single file it out almost all the way through the field here. Everybody's just trying to find out what the track has. Ooh, car down low. Almost spin it.
Coster's still out front. Looks like they're starting to reel him in a little bit.
The 5 is not giving up on the 71 as we got to battle 3 wide for 4th place.
Seven 97 and 24. Charles Irwin. It's like Mark Cofield and Javier Zapata.
Ooh, they touch a little bit going down the straight. He touches him in the corner. They both got loose. They both had to lift. It didn't hurt him that much. The 71 gets up on the wall. As the field gets back to single file.
I don't know if it's just my end, but I'm not seeing the correct car number on Tyler Johnson.
That would be correct. From the 24.
Tyler Johnson is the 6, currently running a 24 Hooters.
We got a battle for second heating up.
Everybody running all over the track from bottom to top through the corners, and then single filing out for the most part all the way down the straightaways.
Yeah, I think as this run goes on, it's just gonna get more even and even until maybe the top gets faster. I think beginning of runs, that bottom's gonna be fast, and then as we keep going, the top will just get faster. You see the 7 clear there on the bottom, but then the 24 gets a big run on the outside. So it's just a cat and mouse game right here. He'll get in real deep. He can clear him. He could slide up here. But the 24 is going to have a big run.
Those are great pass by the 7, but it does give, like you said, the 24, the run on the high side. Didn't make any moves there, but we keep trying to set that up for the next set of corners. Work our way back to the field a little bit more. Going to P10. Got the 5 of Kevin Stanley Jr. Trying to catch up to that 1 of C.D. Mangrum. And further back, looks like we got some side-by-side action between Jeffrey Smith and Kyle Glover. Keith Ayers currently at the back of the pack, kind of all alone. Might be a little damage to that truck from something. Looks like the right front might be a little bent. Sleeping Rhino tool is just in front. Sleeping Beauty is battling Seth Morrison for P17. Seth Morrison just complete that pass onto the front straightaway. Reginald Harrison 113. Not currently really battling anybody.
Now I'm seeing what lap times most of the field is running within 3/10 of each other right now. They're not really spacing out or gapping anyone. Just a few of the back guys falling off 17th through 21st. Falling off a little bit, but everyone else is kind of just single file, riding in a train.
Matt McDonald trying to make a move on the inside beneath the pole sitter. They're going to stay side by side down the back straight. The dive in on the low side is better, but the drive off on the top is, there's so much momentum there to try and take that spot back unless they just execute that run through the bottom well enough that all you can do is get to their bumper.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for that top lane to really get that run off. You see the 71 get in the wall, which you can't have when you're trying to make that pass on the top. Once you tap that wall, you lose all the work you made up through the corner. You lose all the momentum going down the straight, and that bottom line just pulls away.
Will Moore looking on to the battle between the blinking 1 truck of Mangrum and Anthony Camarada. Camarada slowly kind of falling back through the field. You can still see some internet connections from the CD.
I mean, Kevin Stanley getting the wall a little bit there as that battle's heating up behind him.
Back up to the front, check in with our leader, Tanner Coster, currently 2/10 up on Charles Irwin. And then they are only slightly ahead of the 3rd place truck of Cofield.
Something I'm seeing, that 2nd place truck is about a 10th quicker a lap than the leader. Is Coster keeping his tires, or is the 7 faster?
Keith Ayers is taking down pit road here on lap 19.
A little bit of a 3-car breakaway. The fourth truck is leading another 3-car breakaway to the main big pack. You see the 7 take it low and then arc up, and the 77 takes it high and then try to dives it low through the middle. They're both taking 2 completely different corners. When Cofield hits the bottom line, he gets a little bit loose. It hurts his momentum. The 7 should get a good run off the corner. He gets loose too, and the 97 gets in front of him.
And don't look too far behind that. You got Javier Zapata and Tyler Johnson duking it out for P4. It looks like 224 trucks going at it, but again, incorrect number on that. It's number 6 in the Hooters.
Ooh, we got a slow car. Hopefully it's a slow. I don't know what happened, but he hit the wall or something.
He brought it back, car back out on track. He had 14 seconds in the pit box.
Ooh, another car in the wall back there. Jade Feathers got in the wall, entering 3. These trucks are a handful even down the straight. He wasn't even in the corner, he just tapped the wall.
3-car battle now as Matt McDonald has joined the fight for P4. Who was pushing too hard and who wasn't pushing.
And what we're starting to see in this long run, that bottom line is just not as good as it was. The top line's starting to really gain a lot more speed than the bottom. Beginning of the run, we can see guys dive it in early and just completely pass the guy on the outside, but it's just not happening as much. As you can see, the 24 tries to dive it down, but the 7 keeps good momentum through the middle, and he'll keep all that momentum out of exit. He's gonna slide up. He's got room. He gets in the wall a little bit.
4-truck battle for P4 as the top 3 are currently. Well, it is the fight for P3. As the top 2 are really trying to duke it out, but not really too close to each other at this moment.
Kevin Stanley pitting this time by.
Have we entered the fuel window for drivers that did not come down under yellow?
If they didn't come down, this is about as far as they could go. So this is in the fuel window for these guys.
The only ones that came down under that first yellow appeared to be Cliff Adams, Jeffrey Smith, Seth Morrison, and Ryan O'Toole.
I think these top guys could maybe go about another 3 laps, maybe 4 with that caution if they were saving. So we see him down pit road any minute here. Got the 20 is slow on track. Not the 21st is slow. He's on the access road for pit road. I don't know if he doesn't know if he doesn't have to use it or what's happening.
Yep, Ryan Jones bringing it down pit lane. And for P2 as Cofield has fallen from that second place spot. Tyler Johnson and Matt McDonald have gotten by.
Zapata and Magnum are pitting. The pit stops are happening. Pit road is open. They're going to draw a bunch of guys in. 24 is pitting this lap.
Pit road again, like you said, extremely active. Currently Zapata and Mangrum taking it down pit road. Ryan Jones with an extended stay on pit road. None of the top 4 have brought it down yet. Cliff Adams has spun into the pit entrance.
Oh, that's going to hurt him. He keeps it rolling, but that's still a couple seconds.
Inside pit road.
Second place is going to be pitting here. We'll see if the leader comes down after he announced it. Oh, we got the leader coming in too.
Second,
top
third,
3.
Fourth. All the way back to
the
P5,
24
pitting
spins.
at once. A couple of lockups at the entrance there. Be interesting to see if anybody caught any speeding penalties. Will Moore, your current leader.
We got him on pit road. Thinking everybody's going to take tires. The 7 completely missed his box. He just gets in it just now. That's going to set him back a lot. Irwin's going to be
Race
stuck
off
on
pit
pit road.
between that lead pack. Coster's going to come out first. Tyler Johnson in the 6 will be second. Matt McDonald comes out third. Cofield fourth. And then Charles Irwin, the last of that group.
Yep. Cofield and Irwin both missed their box, so that's going to be a huge setback for them. They're going to have a lot of work to do on track here.
Moore, Camarada, Feathers, and Harris cycling down pit road currently. Jeffrey Smith and Ryan O'Toole will assume the first 2 positions.
And what I'm seeing, if we go back to the leader, yeah, Mangrum flipped it. He got in front of Tanner on that pit stop.
Yeah,
He does have 2 older tires.
Before. Currently side by side down the backstretch. And the 77 retakes the lead.
I wonder if the one just didn't take tires to get that much of a jump. Because he's the only one out of that group that really gained that much time. Because the 77 of Coster's just pulling away like nothing.
Ryan O'Toole is going to have to come down at some point. He was down on that caution on lap 3. Currently still on track. I would assume has to pit this time.
Yeah, he's hoping for a caution here.
He's running about 3 seconds off the pace of the cars that came out of pit road. Currently got a 16.5-second lead that is quickly vanishing. He might be trying to stretch it out and hope for somebody to spin on fresh tires.
Looks like he's slowing down coming on the pit road here, so that will cycle the lead once they get by him back to Tanner Coster.
Mangrum going to be pressured by the 6 of Tyler Johnson this time.
These pit stops have completely lengthened this field. We got cars all over the track. And we got a fight for second with CD Mangrum.
Mangrum could be just saving some tires, pitting a couple laps earlier, as he just let the 77 and the 6 go by. .33 of 67 laps completed here at Homestead, Miami. Tanner Coster out in front. Down 11 positions. Currently sitting in P12.
Yep. And our closest battle on track is between 10th and 11th. We got Will Moore and Seth Morrison battling. As the leader catches some lap traffic of Ryan Jones. Looks like he's going to try and fight him for it.
Ryan Jones is already lapped. Trying not to go any further down. Trying to make the difference between 2 and 3 laps down.
He's putting up a fight. He's holding on pretty well with that top line. I wonder if Tanner will just let him go, knowing that he's got about a second gap behind him. Even with these guys battling, these guys behind him aren't catching up. He finally gets around the lap car, which Oh, and he battles back to the bottom, the lap car. They're not done.
This is a fight to stay 2 laps down instead of 3 from the P21 truck of Ryan Jones and the leader, Tanner Coster.
Jones is finally going to fall behind him. I think Tanner's going to be able to hold on to it here. Got a side-by-side battle for 19th, but not much as Sleeping Beauty lets Ryan right on by. You know, they're pretty far back. They're just trying to survive.
CD Mangrum holding on to 3rd place. Biggest mover up 16 spots from the starting position.
I wonder if he's saving tires, because he's still about a 10th or 2 off the leaders.
Yeah, that last time by was a 35.04 compared to the 34.8 of Tyler Johnson ahead and the 35.0.
These guys can make it about 20, 26, just 28 laps. So they're only going to do a quick pit stop to fuel up if this stays green. So he could just be saving tires just to take a little bit of fuel.
Still 19 of 21 cars on the lead lap. As the one of Mangrum continues to have some connection issues, blinking in and out here and there, but still kind of holding on to P3.
We won't do it. Run through the top 10 while we're pretty split up here.
Oh, Ryan Jones loose off
saves
the
it with the wall though.
The outside wall. And he will be bringing that down pit road. Kind of go back a little bit and see what happened there.
It looked like there was 2 different ones. I saw the 43 get in the wall.
43 got loose on the inside of the 6 and just smacks that outside wall.
No weird incident, just right off the corner around the straight.
So Keith Ayers in the 17 bringing down pit road again. One of the first ones to do so last time. Is going to have to be the first one to do it this time. Ryan Jones pulling out of his pit box right now.
As McDonald's going to try and pass for 5th. As they're catching up to CD Mangrum, who's either saving tires or didn't save tires. You have a 3-car battle heating up. Matthew's really sending it in on the bottom. He's making it work.
Mangrum has gotten the wall up there a little bit. So make him slow on exit. Not too slow though. Still able to stick out in front a little bit. The 11 is going to dive.
We go back to 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. We got a huge battle going on right now. They're just 3 wide coming off the corner.
Charles Irwin, we saw running strong earlier, sitting in P10, trying to fight off the pull.
Ooh! Just like Kevin Stanley hit the wall hard, he's got big right front damage. Came off the corner and just got loose into the wall. Looks like he's going to try and pit here.
Rewind and take a look at that one as well. Just middle of the corner, just loose. And then again, it snaps to the right. and puts that right front right into the wall. Tanner out in front now by 1.8 seconds.
Back in 12th place, that battle is still heated up. These cars are starting to find each other.
Tyler Johnson's working around that 87 lap car, and they're going to bounce doors at the top of 1 and 2. They're both going to stay straight. I can only imagine that 87 Sleepy Beauty would not appreciate that. P3 Matt McDonald all alone.
Ooh, the 4 car got loose off turn 2. It's gonna lose a couple spots there. These guys are battling hard for position, and that 43 lap truck is just all up in their way. He's running his own race. He doesn't really care about the guys around him. I can't blame him though.
We're starting to get more pit stops as Lawver and Adams are down pit road this time. This is about the earliest you can pit and still make it, I'd say.
Yeah, about 21 laps from here. So I think everyone makes it if they pit.
The lead 1.6 seconds for the 77.
There is some tempers showing back with Jade Feathers and Seth Morrison. Last time by, we had Jade Feathers throw a block to the inside down the back straight on the 4.
You got Mark Kufield in that 97 on pit road this time. That lead just continues to grow for the 77. Tanner's really got this thing figured out right now. Really strong car in the previous weeks. Looking to snag a win here in week 4.
Yeah, and he can make it about 6 more laps before he has to pit about. The thing is, does anybody try behind him to short pit it? As we do, we're going to have Xavier Zapata is going to pit next time by right here. He's going to try and short pit the leader.
In his box. P13 comes down. He said, yep, Javier Zapata.
That's from P5. He was about 6-7 seconds back, so we'll see how much time he can gain.
P18 truck with Brandon Russell.
Mangrum pitting this time from P4. He held on nice after he saved his tires a little bit. Lost a little bit of ground, but not too bad. Ooh, he gets loose. Ooh, it saves it.
But I almost wonder if that was a speeding penalty. He looked like he came in hot.
It looked like he hit the line at 50, which is the speed limit, so I think he's going to be good.
What a pit. Tyler Johnson in the 6 down pit road. Jeffrey Smith in the 96 also coming down pit road this time.
The only guys who haven't pit yet in that lead group was Tanner and Matt McDonald. As Tanner goes by for another lap. And McDonald's in this time. Only went out Tanner. You think Tanner has that lead. He has that advantage of not having to pit with them. He'll have to pit in the next few laps or he's gonna fall back due to short pitting. But he has that leniency of the few seconds he had. Yep, he's running that low line. He's coming in the pit here. Leader in.
Looked like a pretty good entrance from Tanner there. As Will Moore will come around. See if he pits this time or if he's just going to cycle the lead again. He's going to stay out. Seth Morrison also now leaving their pit stall. Will Moore does take that lead. Pulsetter Camarada is back up into P2. Jade Feathers currently running P3. Ryan O'Toole is going to take P4. All of those drivers are still going to have to pit. They are the last ones to have to come down pit road, the top 4.
And something I'm seeing is Tanner is gonna get jumped here from pitting later. We got a bunch of cars passing him.
Tyler Johnson just passed Tanner as 1 and 2. As things cycle out, let's go put that 6 truck in the lead with about 2 laps older tires. Gap is about 2 seconds between.
And that's the difference right there of 2 laps here at Homestead.
Sleeping Beauty is down pit road in that 87 machine.
They're running about a second and a half faster with these new tires, so he gained 3 seconds just on track. That's not counting what he gained or lost on pit road.
Still holding on to that Colorado Feathers O'Toole. They're all going to stick it out as long as they can here.
It looks like they got about a lap or 2. Yep. Camarade is coming in this time on the radio.
Wilmore
It's like
a little bit.
Wilmore is going to take another one. If he gets a caution, that'd be a huge break for him.
Here, but not pitting. So Conrad is the road out.
Wilmore over the radio is coming this time by. That'll lead Jade Feathers and Ryan O'Toole. Nope, Jade Feathers this time too. So these guys ran it dry, hoping for a caution. Didn't quite work out for them. Something I'm seeing is Tyler Johnson is gapping Tanner Coster. You've only got 12, 13 laps to go.
O'Toole is still staying out. We're going to cycle into that lead position. O'Toole was last down on lap 31. That was about 3 laps later than Wilmore and Jade Feathers. So O'Toole can go about another 1 or 2 laps here.
Yep. He's really hoping for a caution. He was a lap down already. Or close to it. So, and after he pits here, he's definitely going to lose a lap. He's just hoping for a caution to keep him on the lead lap here.
O'Toole will stay out another lap.
Right behind him, we got the leader coming up.
Tyler Johnson.
Potential leader.
1.5 seconds up on 77.
And I was saying that
Pass for the lead is complete.
I was saying that Tyler was gapping Tanner, but Tanner's clawing back slowly. It was just a couple laps ago. It was a 1.9 lead. Now it's down to a 1.2.
Take a look from the onboard. That 77. Trying to run down the 6. He's been dominant all night, but doesn't want to push too hard and eat these tires up in the last couple laps and not have enough when he finally gets there.
Still got 16 cars on a lead lap, so caution would change this whole thing. Get a lot of guys group back up, and then it's anybody's race. But right now, we got Tanner reeling him in slowly.
Almost lost it there, almost hit the wall, but kept it going. Does have some slight draft. States from that lap car currently. That's going to help reel in as well. That's the one.
Ryan O'Toole finally pits. Got a battle for 14th going on between Camerata and Jade Feathers. I'm gonna dive down low, try and make the pass here. They both just pit. Camerata's gonna let him by.
Head back to our lead fight.
These
77
lead
still
guys.
trying to make time. Just
Something that's
now
happened,
trying to
these-
get around the lap car.
These lead guys are catching this little pack that we were just watching, where those guys were battling for 14th and 15th.
Lap times just about 10th off of each other. 10 across your 10th quicker last time by.
And he's finally cleared that lap car. So that puts nothing in between him and the leader. But right in front of the leader, we got a group of three lap cars.
View from the nose of the leader, Tyler Johnson. Coming up on him again, there's a couple of lap cars that could potentially slow him down and allow the 77 to catch a lot easier.
And these guys are side by side in front of him. That's going to be a tough pass when he gets there. And he's there. 17 drifts up. It's his corner exit.
Even with that lap traffic in front a little bit, Tanner was about a 10th slower that lap.
He's getting through lap traffic perfectly.
CD Mangro making that pit strategy from earlier work. Still sitting P3. Biggest mover, 16 spots up. 8/10 back is P4 Matt McDonald. See if Mangrum holds on to that podium position.
We got a battle for 5th and 6th heating up. We got Mark Cofield and Cliff Adams. Cliff Adams going to dive to the inside of one. And Cofield just can't make that outside work.
Tanner's still about 1.2 back. And a tenth
Tyler
slower
Johnson.
than Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson is cutting through this lap traffic like it's not even there. He'd have to make a mistake at this point. I think Tanner used up his tires a little bit too much trying to catch him. Now he's got to get through the lap traffic. With only 2 to go, he's got to really push.
Two laps remain here at Homestead. Tyler Johnson leading Tanner Coster by 1.2. Again, lap times are about a 10th separated. Tyler Johnson being the faster truck. As Matt McDonald has closed that 8/10 gap and has made the pass for the podium position.
Yeah, Mangrum just tapped the wall on the outside, tried to get that run. He's going to get it down the back straight, even with hitting the wall.
The gap ever so increasing up to 1.4 for Tyler Johnson up in the lead. As there's a back and forth for P3.
One of these guys is going to get P3.
White flag lap. Tyler Johnson all but has this locked up. Tanner not going to have what it takes. The battle for P3 is on. Mangrum running the top.
Going to get a good run. He did last time. It's not quite there. He's going to have to send it in on the bottom to get a run.
Tyler Johnson through 3 and 4. Gonna take that checkered flag and win and secure a playoff position. Tanner Coster P2. As Mangrum did not have enough left at the end to beat Matt McDonald to the line. Still an excellent finish, up 15 spots for that number 1 truck.
Cliff Adams finishing 5th. Zapata 6th. Cofield 7th. Will Moore 8th. Stanley 9th. And Smith, ooh, Looks like Smith gets the pass right at the line over Stanley.
Some celebratory drifting from that 6 truck. Look at that. Oh,
Ooh.
loses it. Kisses the wall.
Yeah, and we saw that strategy of pitting 2 laps early got him the lead. And he was just able to hold it. I'm thinking he just saved tires just a little bit, as much as he had to, held on to that little bit of a lead. And then once he had to go, he went and got around that lap traffic.
We're going to try and get our top 3 drivers and an additional driver up into the booth for these post-race interviews. Tyler Johnson brings home the victory, locking into that playoff. A little bit of heartbreak for the 77, dominated most of the race and brings it home P2. Still a solid points day, but not the result that Tanner's probably going to be too excited about.
No, I mean, when you're that dominant, you want the win. Second just does not feel as good.
See if we can find where our race winner is hanging out. Seeing Matt McDonald in the waiting room. We'll go ahead and start with P3 or bring up Matt McDonald. Matt, Jonathan, and Michael up in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yeah. I got a copy.
Made it to P3, up 4 spots from your starting position. Got that pass on CD there in the closing laps. Excellent finish from you today. Solid run. Able to bring it home on the podium for a solid points day. So go ahead and walk us through how the race went from your POV.
Yeah, I knew early on that, especially with how hot the track was, that higher wear was going to be kind of a impact. So early on, I was going to run the low line just to kind of try to save tires to run the long run. I was a little worried we might have a lot of cautions, but with only having one, that kind of worked into my favor. So no, the overall, I was able to get up to second on the first kind of 2 runs, or I think right behind the second place, at least in the last one, and was a little slow on a couple pit stops, which might have made a big difference. But congrats to Tyler and Tanner; they were kind of the class of the field for most of the race. So no, overall, really, really happy with the run. Really happy to it stayed green. Everyone was pretty clean, um, and we were fast. So I was glad to not get in the hole and finish behind Sauce there, CD at the for the final lap there. But no, it worked into our favor. We had fresher tires, so no, all in all, very, very happy and looking forward to Martinsville.
Yeah, going into Martinsville, this is going to be a great points buffer, because we know how Martinsville can be.
Yeah.
Was your plan to try and just get some points, or was it, I want to go get the lead by saving tires, or was it just kind of survive?
Honestly, I don't view this as one of my better tracks. I definitely was worried coming into this race about the idea that what it was going to look like, and so I was kind of just sitting out for a good points day and just hope that the flags kind of fell our way. So I didn't think we were going to be good enough to win the race, especially if it was short runs. So I thought we put ourselves in the best position by trying to save tires in case cautions came out, so we could stay out and kind of run that. But yeah, the goal was a good points day today.
Well, you definitely secured that. We'll see how that shakes up the standings for you heading into next week. 12 drivers make the playoffs. 4 different winners so far securing their way in. Do you think it's going to be tight to point your way in, or are most people going to need that win to make it?
Right now, it feels like you're going to need a win to get in. But we'll see. As I say, it's a pretty competitive field. We also ran through a lot of drafting tracks where kind of everybody has a shot, where we're getting more into a bit more of the technical tracks. So I think that might also shuffle up to see some similar winners. But as of right now, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the idea of good points days aren't going to be enough at some point. It's going to have to be win a race somewhere. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have a clearer picture probably, I'd say, in the next 2 races or 3 races. Um, but yeah, right now. I'm happy to stay in the points, but definitely in the back of my mind is at some point a victory's probably gonna have to happen.
It does look more and more like that each week. Matt, go ahead and give any shout outs that you got. The floor is yours.
Yeah, again, love the team. Turf, Sauce, and Dash, all great guys. We I was gonna say we have fun in the chat, and it's fun racing with them for sure. So always happy with that. And again, congrats to Tyler on the win, and Tanner. They were strong today. And even the same thing, my teammate there, CD, like to go from last at a track like this to get up to 4th and almost 3rd is shows how good he is. So no, overall, as I say again, I thought everyone did a pretty good job running. Even the lap cars for the most part did a good job. So yeah, overall very happy. It was a fun race. Looking forward to next week. And thanks to you guys, of course, for broadcasting. It's super fun to go back and watch. Always enjoy going back and see the races and seeing the broadcast. So thank you to you guys.
Absolutely. That is going to be Matt McDonald, your P3 finisher tonight. Next, we'll go ahead and grab Tanner Coster. Tanner with a little bit of possible heartbreak tonight with P2 after dominating most of the race. Tanner, you got a copy on us?
Yeah, how's it going?
Tanner, you led for a long time with a huge lead. What was the difference maker there that cost you the win tonight?
Yeah, I knew Tyler was back there, and I knew he short pitted me a little bit, and I was just a little too cautious. I went 1 lap longer than I probably should have, just in case a yellow were to come out. I didn't want to mess up the whole pit cycle there and be in a weird spot. So I went 1 lap more, and then when I came out, I was a couple seconds back from Tyler, and I just couldn't quite close the gap. We were about even through the middle to back half of a run, so him getting out front there through the pit cycle just got him ahead of me.
Yeah, something we saw was that lap traffic came into play, or really didn't. Do you think if Tyler got caught up a little bit more in it, you had a chance, or do you think you guys were too even?
It's hard to say. It would have been really fun to been, bumper to bumper and race straight up there. I think it'd have been a fun race. He got caught up a little. I got caught up a little. It all across the board, it was just even. So if he got caught up a little bit and I could have got to him, it would have been a fun race. But I think it'd have been real hard to complete the pass. He definitely was. He was getting a better figure on the high line and getting that run out of the corner where I'd have probably pretty much had to do a slide job or something to get by him. So it would have been fun, but I don't know that I'd have ever got back by him.
Well, it was a very solid points day for you. Ask Matt McDonald, I'll ask you the same thing. With 4 different winners through the first 4 races, is pointing your way in going to become more and more difficult, or is it going to look more and more like you're going to need that win to make that 12-man playoff?
I don't know. I think here, once we get halfway through the regular season or so, I bet you start to see more repeat winners. I'd be willing to bet there's a good portion that point their way in, but definitely just easier to go get a win and not have to worry about it.
Absolutely. Well, it was a solid finish from you, a solid race. I feel that win's coming from you eventually. You've been really strong to start this season so far. So go ahead and give any shout-outs that you got. The floor is yours.
Yeah, not many of anybody really in particular. Me and Tyler are pretty good buddies, so it was cool to see him win. So
Absolutely. That was Tanner Coster. Am I saying your last name? Is it Coster or Coaster?
It's Coster. You had it right.
All right.
Okay. I was debating, and I didn't want to just go back and
I
forth
think I
between
said
it.
it. Yeah, I think I said it two different ways through the race. I didn't know what to say, so I said them both.
There you go. Hit it
I
one way or the other.
I kind of stuck with Coster and hoped it was right. So
There you go.
moving on to Martinsville next week. How do you feel about that one?
I love Martinsville. It's a fun track. It's a racy track. It's very technical, where you got to be good on the brakes, and it's it's fun if you can get the racing right. It's tough to get a good race on here without just having yellow after yellow. So I hope we can follow up what we did tonight and get some green flag runs in and kind of wear the tires out a little bit. But so hoping for that. It'll be fun if we can do that.
Absolutely, and we look forward to calling that race as well. I love watching Martinsville races. That's Tanner Coster, your P2 finisher tonight. We'll go ahead and get Tyler Johnson. Tyler, it's Jonathan and Michael up in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
Congratulations on the win tonight. That was a heck of a performance you put on in the closing laps, bobbing and weaving through some lap traffic, and able to keep what seemed like the car to beat of the 77 behind you to lock your way into the playoffs. How did that go from your point of view and the pit stop that you were able to jump in with?
Yeah, I don't know. I was really the first stint. I was really trying to save there. I fell back early and then realized, only half a tank of gas. There's no point in saving tires. So second run, I kind of pushed it a little bit harder. Really aggressive onto pit road, got me a spot, and I was right behind Tanner. And I was trying to pace myself for the long run. Not fully burn up my stuff. And then I tried to run the top a little bit and wasn't quite getting it. I pulled in a little bit at the end of the second run, and then we were talking, and he said he was going to go one more lap, and I was like, I'm just going to come in now. So I short pitted him, and then he ended up going, 2 extra laps compared to me, and I was driving my butt off on those new tires in that final stint, and him running those 2 extra laps, I think that really, costed him, I'd say, because he was up a good amount on me. I think it was like a second and a half, and I came out a second and a half ahead of him. So, it was fun. I pushed really hard there in that final stint, knowing there no need to save tires, and I was clicking off some fast laps, and it felt good. That this track was something today. It was slippery. We were spinning. We were burning up the right rear a lot, but I was able to tame it a little bit and come out with a win. So it feels pretty good.
So, talking about the slippery track, we were kind of noticing up in the booth that maybe the bottom was good on the short run and then the top got a little bit better on the end of a run. Is that how it felt in the truck?
Yeah, kind of. It felt like the end of that first run, I was really making a lot of time up on the top. And I tried it in that second run, and I wasn't getting, I think I burnt up my stuff a little bit more than I wanted to. And, just passing lap cars or trying to get my spots back or whatnot. And, but then that third run, I tried it a couple times and I was pulling from Tanner. So I don't know. I really couldn't, give you a yes or no answer, but it felt good to run up there in the long run. But I don't know if it really was all that much faster. You really had to hit it perfect. And I hit it perfect maybe a couple times out of 20 times running it. So, but yeah, it felt good, but I was wishing it was a little bit better.
Well, it was a solid run from you. You're able to pull out the win and lock your way into the playoffs. So the pressure of making it is off your shoulders. No pressure until round one. Not that it matters too much to you, again, saying you're locked in. But what do you think it's going to be like deeper in the field? Are people going to have to worry about pointing their way in? Or are we going to get enough new winners that it's going to, force people to have to win to make it?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I think there's probably going to be a few repeat winners just kind of based off how the season's going. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to race every single race. Um, but I missed my favorite track, Vegas, last week, which sucked. But I think, there's definitely going to be, um, repeat winners. I don't know who. I haven't really raced enough, but there's a lot of tracks that I really love. I know Bristol's coming up, Kansas, and then Nashville Super Speedway. So I'm hoping to do good at those, but I think um, there's definitely going to have to be some people that lock in. I do believe 12 make it to the playoffs, and I can't even remember how many races off the top of my head. Maybe 12 races. So that'd be a new 15 races maybe. So we'll see though. It'll be interesting, especially coming up to these. We got Martinsville and then Bristol, two short tracks that literally anything could happen. Phantom, Green, White, Checkered, and then we got a couple road courses coming up. Who knows what's going to happen at those? But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see. Who can get ahead at Martinsville. These last couple weeks, it kind of showed who had speed. I feel like just being mile and a halves, kind of how it works. But we'll see at the short tracks who's really fast too, and who can make it count in the playoffs as well, because that's going to be a whole different ball game. So it'll be fun though.
I agree. I'm looking forward to calling these races. Go ahead and give any shout outs if you have any. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I want shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone who put this on. It's fun. Like I said, I haven't been able to do it much, but I'm hoping to kind of do it a little bit more here on out because it's a lot of fun. I love the trucks. It's a great schedule. You guys do a great job broadcasting and everything too. So everything looks professional, and that makes the league come together pretty well. So yeah, I just wanted thanks to Crumvita companies and my uncle Bobby Koltoff Electric. They're sponsors for me, so I appreciate that. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all I need to say thanks to.
Absolutely solid win from you, and maybe we'll talk to you again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I sure hope so.
All right, that is Tyler Johnson, our race winner tonight, and somebody that I really think we should talk to, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree. P4 CD Mangrum, 15 spots up from the start, biggest mover of the race. What do you say we get him up here?
I think so. Definitely someone to watch going through the season.
CD, it's Michael and Jonathan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Solid performance from you tonight. Up 15 spots from the start. Biggest mover of the race. You were on track for a podium there, and
How about that?
you got past in the last couple laps to fall to P4. But 15 spots gained over the course of the race, bringing home P4 is a solid points day. Go ahead and give us your perspective as the laps wound down.
Yeah, well, I neglected to do the update in a timely manner, so I was late, didn't practice, didn't qualify, and started last. Worked my way up, and I had the short pit that first green flag stop. Just used so much tire trying to get into track position, but that got me from about like eighth up to the top three, and I just didn't have the tires at the end. Marty got to me. I think he had like four lap fresh tires, something like that. But yeah, good day, good top five. Had fun out there. Homestead's a great track. Never ran the trucks here, but a good outing for sure. After my last couple weren't so good.
So you mentioned you were burning your tires. I know there was a time in the race where you started falling back. Is that point, or were you saving tires at a point?
At which point, well, I mean, yeah, it was probably a combination of both. I didn't mess with my brake bias to begin with. I was just in a rush trying to get into the race. So if I could go back, I probably would have went down a lot more on my brake bias in the original setup than what I could. That probably would have helped a lot. But again, qualifying, missed that. Get stuck in the back, just kind of catching up, playing from behind. But solid top five.
Yeah, anytime you start in the back with a one caution race, you make your way to the top 5.
Yeah,
It's got to be a win in your book.
yeah, it was a good time to get out there and get some laps in. But good run for me. Marty, teammate, good run for him. We'll go to Martinsville and have a good time there.
Absolutely. As the races start to tick away, and we're currently at 4 new winners, even though we were at like 3 draft type tracks. I know Vegas was a little bit of less of a draft track, but it almost like was one. Um, are the wins going to be as important to make the playoffs, or do you think it'll be easier to point your way in?
I don't know. I'd like to get a win. That'd be that's the goal to get a win somewhere. I think I could point my way in. It really depends. These trucks on mile and a halfs, not Homestead but others are pretty flat out, so it kind of mixes up everything. There's a lot of variability there, but I look forward to maybe getting to some more technical tracks, and we saw tonight a little bit more off throttle time, big difference in the field and just getting strung out. So hopefully I could get here on time and qualify well for those types of tracks because I'm gonna need it.
Especially next week heading to Martinsville. How do you feel about that one?
Um, I mean, I couldn't tell you to be honest. Like it could be a great race, it could be a bad race. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I end up in the catch fence, I mean, maybe that's a good time as well.
Yeah, that one's going to be fun to watch, whether it's caution filled or lots of green flag action. It's going to be a great one to see, and hopefully it'll be a great one to be a part of as well. CD, go
Yeah,
ahead and give your shout outs. Floor's yours.
yeah. Shout out to the team. I think it's Mississippi West Mississippi. I don't know my team's name. West
Man, what the
Mississippi
heck?
Motorsports. West Mississippi Motorsports. Shout out
There we go.
to the team and everyone for having me. I appreciate them.
I'll cut you a break on that one. I heard that team name has changed recently.
Oh, it has. Well, shout out to the team, man.
There you go.
All right, that was CD Mangrum, your biggest mover of the race, finished P4 just outside the podium. And that was quite a race that we saw there. There were some solid battles. There were some out of control race cars. We only had one yellow flag, so that was a really fun one to watch.
Yeah, I was a little worried early. They got all single file, but then as the tires started wearing, people fell back. People came forward. They got racing some 3 wide sometimes. This track can produce some great racing if you get green flag runs like we got today.
Unfortunate break for the pole sitter of Anthony Camarada. He fell 13 spots to finish P14. Just did not have the race pace that the rest of the trucks had tonight. Mostly everybody gained positions. Obviously, if everybody gains, nobody's gonna fall. But it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like only 6 or 7 that really fell, and the rest that made everybody else go up at least a position. So there was some solid racing from everybody throughout the field. 2, 3 pit stops. It looks like we had a 4 stopper from Seth Morrison.
You have any takeaways from this race, things you saw that maybe we should look forward to in the coming weeks from some certain guys? Or I know I got a few.
One of mine is going to be watch out for Tanner Coster. He's continued to be a front runner, whether it was a draft track or Vegas, where it's half drafty and half actual, some skill in there, and then a track like this where you got to manage tire and manage the car being loose, and I can see him winning somewhere in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely CD Mangrum. Came in here with like you said, no practice. Got his way up to a fourth place finish. I mean, imagine if he had practice, what he could have done. Um, there's that, and then there's Ryan O'Toole. Someone he finished in 17th, but something I saw he did, he stayed out like a little bit longer than everyone else. I think he had to pit at one point, but he tried to keep that thing on the lead lap, get a caution. Didn't work out for him, but he's someone to keep an eye out if strategy comes into play into some of these races.
Absolutely. If a caution would have came out for him, he would have been in a really good position, but it just went green to green. Didn't give anybody that was waiting for a yellow the opportunity. But there's lots of action tonight, lots of passes and battles, all the way back through the field. We saw, as the leaders are fighting in the closing laps, there were cars 2 and 3 wide for P12 and 13. Every position could matter. Making the playoffs could depend at the end of the season on just a couple points. So you might think, what's the point in fighting somebody for 15th? Well, whatever that points difference is, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 points difference back there, could cost you the playoffs. You could miss out by 2 points and look back at the season where you didn't fight a guy that you should have. Only 12 make the playoffs. I was unsure of how many races that they have on the schedule, but
Yeah,
it's going to be a tight one to make it in.
If you don't race these guys for 1 or 2 points, and we have a bunch of winners, there could only be 2 or 3 guys making it in on points, and it'll come down to just some points. Like, it could be 2, it could be 20. You don't know until the end of the season, so you got to get as many as you can early. With Marsville next week, we saw passing here, we saw them hitting the wall, we saw a couple wrecks. That is just going to amplify next week. So everybody's going to want to qualify up front to try and stay away from the carnage we have next week. There's going to be, I mean, I don't want to say it, we're going to have at least 4 cautions. I mean, there's going to be some guys who wreck out early. If you qualify up front, it's just that much better of a chance to survive.
100%. We've got 14 races left on the calendar before the round of 12 starts. So there's still plenty of time to get your win and get locked in. And there's also plenty of time to earn as many points as you can and point your way in. We go to 2 short tracks back to back. Martinsville, Bristol the next 2 weeks. Then we hit the Rock before we go to Texas and Kansas. Got a couple road courses on the schedule as well. Watkins Glen is 2 races before the regular season finale. So, somebody who's not too entirely good on ovals could secure a playoff spot with a win at a road course. And then the Charlotte Roval is down there in the round of 8. If they can point good enough in the round of 12, they can make the Final Four just off of being good at road courses.
Yeah, and then once you get to the Final Four, anything can happen.
Once you're in the Final Four, you only have to beat 3 other cars. You could finish 16th as long as the other cars finish 17th or worse.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that, but you never know with these leagues.
We'll go ahead and pull up our race results page real quick. Again, Tyler Johnson, your winner, winning by 1.3 seconds over Tanner Coster. And rounding out the podium was Matt McDonald. C.D. Mangrum next, P4, Cliff Adams in P5. Javier Zapata, Mark Cofield, Will Moore, Jeffrey Smith, Kevin Stanley Jr. will round out that top 10.
You got Seth Morrison 11th, Mama Duck 12th, which is Jade Feathers. 13th, we got Charles Irwin. 14th, Anthony Camerata. 15th, Keith Ayers. 16th, Reginald Harris. 17th, Ryan O'Toole. Kevin Lawver, 18th. Sleeping Beauty, we got 19th, Brandon Resler 20th, and Ryan Jones rounding out the end of the field in 21st.
Well, that was one heck of a race we watched tonight. It was the most green flag laps we've had so far. I'm looking forward, like I said before, previous races, to the rest of the season. It's so far it's been a blast to call these races for these guys. I appreciate them giving us the opportunity to do so. Whether it was the caution-filled, action-packed, wrecking races that they did at the super speedways where guys were a little antsy and on edge starting the season, or tonight where we had one yellow flag that it could have been called either way. The one car that went off track saved it. The rejoin might have been a little scary, but there weren't really any wrecks that occurred. There were a couple cars that got loose, smashed that outside wall off at 2, had to come down pit road. But overall, it was a really great race to watch.
Yeah, mostly just single car spins and wall hitting, but that could just be part of these guys are finally starting to learn each other. We're 4 weeks in, so I mean, the chemistry's building. I said it in the first few races. These guys have no chemistry with each other, but it's starting to stack up. These guys are learning each other, and it's gonna get to be better racing as we saw today, just as we go forward.
Absolutely. We are 4 races in and 14 more to go until the playoffs start. So plenty of action left in the season. That is going to do it for the Worldwide Racing League Tuesday Trucks and us at MC Motorsports Broadcasting. I'm Jonathan Casebeer, and that has been Michael Matta, and we will see you